All right, Knicks fans. So I've heard this before, and it's like deja vu. I mean, so the rumor mill has us wanting a stretch four. Um, I'm not put off by the fact that we need a stretch four. I am put off by the fact that every summer the Knicks fans clamor for 3 to 4 power forwards every year. It's what they do. It's as if if the Knicks don't sign all the available power forwards, life is not right in Knicks land, right? Life is not right in Gotham unless the Knicks sign 4 power forwards. In an era where every other team is looking to spread the floor, get multiple guards and playmakers, load up on versatile wing players, wings that can, on defense, shoot the three, stretch the floor. Stretch the floor with either passing, driving ability, or passing, or excuse me, or shooting the ball, right? But not the Knicks. Knicks fans are all over Twitter and YouTube clamoring, damn near begging for more power forwards. I mean, it's ridiculous. I saw a guy do a video, and no knock on the guy because he was smart. Smart guy. Seems as if he had all of his stuff together. But he did a video about how the Knicks could use their cap space to sign Jeremy Grant, Danilo Gallinari, Davis Bertans, or do a trade for Al Horford. Really? Think about that. In an era where every other NBA team is looking to space the floor, Knicks fans are trying to sign every power forward under the sun. They can stretch the floor. They can do such and such. Their versatility. Well, honestly, stretch fours aren't going to be versatile. Most stretch fours lack defensively. They don't rebound. They're expensive. The only thing they bring to the table is 3-point shooting. They're usually not fleet of foot or can pass at a level where you would think that their versatility or not versatility, but the dollar amount they command is equal to their playmaking on the court. It's not. We're literally looking at Knicks fandom saying, "Hey, listen, I know, we've been looking for a point guard for years. The point guard of the future for years, and I know we probably need, some depth on the wings, but I can't get over my power forward fetish." This is basically what Knicks fans do all the time. Like for instance, this is my example for Knicks fans. Hey, I have a flat tire. Can you install a new radio in my car? That's exactly what being a Knicks fan is like, and hearing Knicks fans say. They complain all year about the lack of spacing on the floor, right? The lack of spacing. And instead of, say, going to address what can basically help, they say, let's get a stretch four. It'll solve everything. Stretch fours don't solve everything. Stretch fours are one-dimensional, highly paid guys that don't bring anything else to your team except basically 3-point shooting. They don't defend, they don't rebound, they don't play make, and they're expensive. So a Knicks fan is saying, hey, listen, my car has a flat tire. Can you fix my radio? That's exactly what we're looking at as a Knicks fan. Like I hear a guy, a popular dude on YouTube say, a popular Knicks contributor say, hey, listen, I know we need a point guard of the future, right? I know we need wing defenders. I know we need shooting, but let's try to get Danilo Gallinari, Jeremy Grant, and Davis Bertans, right? Is this not the narrative? Is this not what happened last summer? We signed 2019-2020. We signed five freaking power forwards, five of them, right? And you're like, no, Uncle Freezy, we didn't sign five power forwards. Okay, so Marcus Morris, Bobby Portis, Julius Randle, Taj Gibson, Kenny Wooten. How many is that? All right, I'll say them in reverse order. Kenny Wooten, Taj Gibson, uh, Julius Randle, Bobby Portis, Luke Morris. That's five. That's five freaking power forwards. Really, really. And so your point is going to be, well, Uncle Freezy, listen, the Knicks need 3-point shooting. We need to space the floor. So you're telling Uncle Freezy with a straight face that you can only stretch the floor, space the floor with stretch fours. So you're going to basically revolt on Twitter because you want floor spacing through a power forward, a stretch four, right? I mean, it's to the point now where people are literally saying, Knicks fans are saying with a straight face that, like, if Obi Toppin is there at 8, you got to get him. Really? I mean, are we that desperate for 3-point shooting that it's like saying, hey, I know we need perimeter D, so let's go sign a stretch forward. Stretch forwards only bring that one thing to the table. Historically, they bring that one thing to the table, and that's the stretch part. Like, they'll stretch out the defense. They'll shoot that three, right? What else do they bring to the table? What? Are they going to defend? Is Davis Bertans a defender? Is Danilo Gallinari a defender? Is Obi Toppin a defender? Really? And I know y'all going to say, well, Kenny Wooten's not a stretch forward. I understand that. But you guys love power forwards, though. You love power forwards. You're in love with power forwards. All those guys I mentioned aren't stretch forwards, by the way. The power, I was using this as an argument. You think stretching the floor coupled with your love of power forwards creates stretch fours. Now it's one of those deals where you say, we have to sign more power forwards. It makes no sense to me. Why do we need more power forwards? Why? I mean, it's to the point now where I hear people say, well, you know what you can do? If you don't trade Knox, you could put Knox at the 4. He'll be a stretch 4. I mean, come on. At what point do we realize power forward is not the only position of need on our team? At what point do we do that? Right? Last summer we signed 5 power forwards, right? This summer, it's the same conversation, except we change what we call them. Oh, we need stretch 4s. Well, they're still power forwards. You can call them stretch 4 all you want, but these guys only bring one thing to the table. Danilo Gallinari is not going to, while he's a decent defender, don't jack up his defensive value just to fit the narrative, because he's not a great defender. Right? Jeremy Grant might be a great defender. Jeremy Grant may fit the mold of that guy that you guys want. And I'd be okay with signing like one guy. But don't come with a glut. Don't come with a shopping cart, full of power forwards, in the self-checkout aisle or in the 10 items or less aisle, and you have 11, and you're like, oh my God, I want to get all these power forwards. No, Knicks fan, don't do that. That's not the move. If you want to stretch the floor, how about improved shooting around the roster? How about improved shooting at every spot? Have your center maybe shoot some jumpers, right? Maybe have your power forwards stretch the defense out to the 3-point line. How about have your small forwards hit 3-pointers at an average NBA clip? How about have your shooting guards hit 3-pointers at an average NBA clip? How about get any type of decent 3-point shooting from your point guard position? I mean, your 3-point shooting at point guard position last year was terrible. Excuse me. I think the best 3-point shooter at point guard we had last year was Frank Ntilikina at 31%. And Dennis Smith Jr. was 27, and I think Elfrid Payton was 20. I mean, that's ridiculous. If you want to improve floor spacing and shooting, improve what you have on the roster already. That way, when they can bring improvement to the table, right? B, when it's your time to draft, when it's time to use your draft assets, draft guys that can shoot. Historically, right? Just draft guys that can shoot. Don't go draft, I need Obi Toppin. Do you really need Obi Toppin? You have Julius Randle. What do you need with Obi Toppin? Right? I don't want to hear about this Julius, clog the paint, him and such. Man, look, as long as he's on the roster, he's still going to be in a Knicks uniform. As long as he's on the roster, he's still our player. You know what I mean? Why draft guys? Why? Okay, so if you get Bertans and Gallinari, where are you going to play Bertans, Gallinari, Randall, Gibson, and I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You have more team needs than stretch four that can space the floor. A stretch four that can space the floor is not going to improve Frank Ntilikina's 3-point shot. It's not going to improve Dennis Smith Jr.'s 3-point shot. It's not going to improve Elfrid Payton's 3-point shot. It's not going to improve R.J. Barrett's 3-point shot. It's not going to improve Reggie Bullock's 3-point shot or Wayne Ellington. Right? This whole thing with power forwards, it's asinine. It's hustling backwards. It's the whole league is headed in one direction, and the Knicks slam it in reverse and throw the pedal to the metal and drive backwards. Why? When you have all the assets that necessary to improve your roster. I'm not bashing guys. I'm just saying that our narrative needs to be smarter. We need to have a smart narrative, man. We want other teams and other fans of other teams and media to look at us as if we're smart. We don't want to do the dumbness of redundancy. We don't want to pay double the cost for half the production. We don't want to do that. What we need to do is ensure that the needs that we have, whatever the needs that we have, the needs that we acknowledge, say if it's point guard, make sure we address it correctly. Like say if we need more point guard depth, make sure that we either get a veteran that's going to be invested in our team for the long term, and somebody capable of getting us to the playoffs and having us be relevant in close games. B, somebody that's either that or somebody that's going to be, if that player is not available, then somebody that's going to be a stopgap to groom the point guard of the future, right? All this power forward talk is ridiculous. Really? So we have cap space, so we just go out and sign more power forwards. Wasn't that what we were disgusted about last year or last season past? I mean, when are we going to learn? I hope we don't go through this year and then have the same conversation next year. I just hope we don't do that. That we fall in love with the power forward position, these big forwards, these Carmelos, Michael Beasley's, Derek Williams, Luke Morris type guys that flash, and then we're still in the same situation. And Melo did it for a long time, right? So don't think I'm a Melo hater because I love Melo, but the league is moving in a different direction, right? And we need to move with them. The DJ is playing a certain song. The DJ is playing the song that everybody likes, right? And it might be the most popular song in the world. But just because you dislike it, don't mean you should get on the dance floor and do some weird dance that's counter to what everybody else is doing. I mean, just because you don't like the Macarena, don't mean that you should get out there and do the electric slide. You know what I'm saying? There'll be times when the DJ will play the song so you can basically do your electric slide, but just wait. I don't know what else to say about that, man. I'm frustrated by this, by a lot of Knicks contributors talking power forward all the time. Also talk about shooting. We don't need shooting. We need makers. We need shot makers. We don't need shooters. We were 28th in the league in three-point shooting. We don't need guys that just chuck up shots. We need guys that make shots. So, when the draft comes, we need to draft accordingly. Cats that can make three-point shots is what we need. Right? Hey, y'all. Like the video. Subscribe. I'm loving the comments that I'm getting for the videos and such. I love the challenge of answering these comments or replying to the comments and because hey, listen, y'all challenge me, so I'm gonna challenge y'all back, and it's part of the Knicks fandom. You know what I mean? Like, get in this comment section and let's go at it. I mean, in a respectful way, of course. I'm not gonna dish y'all or be condescending or anything like that. That's not who I am as a person. I won't use this platform to be condescending or anything like that. I use this platform to do exactly what I like to do, and that's being a fan, talking about my Knicks. So anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, and share this stuff with everybody, so that we can continue to have conversations like this one. And